Valley Club, the enemy waves for every node of the Shadow King Trials is out. How much of a challenge and how much fun will these opponents bring? The playable version of Knull looks absolutely insane and meta-breaking. How much of a problem will he be once we start seeing Knull in the wild? And the Captain Britain Illuminati event is an absolute scam, but there's still a good way that you could get some free Captain Britain shards. We'll discuss that and a lot more in this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. Joining me this week after a long trip to Mordor is my brother Dulom, all the way from the Shire. And if you're ready for all of these topics and more, then brother Dulom, let him know what to do.
Oh, let's go smash it.
Oh yeah, welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin, this is Dulom, and this is your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. Do this every single week, keep you up to date on everything that has happened and is upcoming in Marvel Strike Force. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. But without further ado, how has your experience been in Marvel Strike Force? It's been a while since I've had you on the news. You've been very, very busy. You've gotten married since the last time we've talked. Lots has changed in Marvel Strike Force. So how has your experience been in Marvel Strike Force?
Nothing's changed too much. Battleworld is kind of lackluster so far. I know we're going to talk about that, but I'm hoping it gets better with the new difficulty once we get to the highest difficulty. Crucible, I've been doing really well in that. I'm actually Masters 3 now, so the highest I've ever been in Crucible, so that's really, really nice. Crucible's been super fun. I'm really excited. I'm hoping next season the rules are a little bit better because these rules are kind of meh right now, but I'm liking the game. Crucible's always going to be fun for me. I love the competition.
We're going to discuss all the good and bad of it. Before we get to that, I do want to mention the sponsor of this video. Valley Club, this shirt is fire, super soft, fits great, and look at this cool design. Heads will be turning towards you, and there's so many more cool graphic tee designs on their website, INTOTHEAM.com. And now is the perfect time to upgrade to fashion for you or one of your loved ones, because the Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals have already begun at INTOTHEAM. So from now until December 8th, you can enjoy 60% off everything. That's right, the entire site, 60% off right now. So whether it's one of the many cool graphic tees or one of the other best sellers, you can save huge. And I love all the products I've sampled so far from INTOTHEAM, but this zip-up hoodie is one I've really been looking forward to. It's gonna keep me warm and looking great during the winter. And I like my jackets a little looser, so this is the XL size. And just like the search, super soft and super comfortable. So don't wait till Black Friday. Get all your holiday shopping done now at INTOTHEAM. And if you want to save even more, use my link in the description to get an additional 10% off. It is such a sweet deal. You definitely need to check it out. So yes, guys, start all your Black Friday and Cyber Monday savings right now. Check out the link down below. But Dulom, let's start with this video talking about Battleworld. We got a new difficulty. We have a few new difficulties. Only the normal difficulty was available last week. Now we got difficulty 1, 2, 3. We're the same Allaince. We're doing difficulty 3. How much difference is this experience for you based compared to what it was last week, that auto fest? Is it still auto fest for you? Is there more strategy involved?
No. So unfortunately it's still an auto fest. I mean, the only difference is not everybody's getting completely one shot by everything. Cause like my Pegasus isn't all level 100. So like they'll take a basic and go down to like a quarter health. But that's the only kind of difference. What I am doing now though, is I'm kind of utilizing this time to understand the nodes and when things are going to drop. So when we go to the highest difficulty, I can kind of know cooldowns and know where I need to be with my characters. Because I'm starting to get a better understanding of the nodes, because I know like one of the last nodes for Astral or Pegasus, which is just Pegasus for the time being, it has like an Old Man Logan on the node. So the Old Man Logan's going to be a priority to kill really quick. So you want to make sure you have like Kestrel Special up and ready to go and stuff like that. So I'm starting to get ready just to understand how the nodes work. So when difficulty 5 comes around, I'm not just kind of fumbling around and figuring it out. But right now it's just a full sim fest.
Well, you still have another week, because next week we get difficulty 4, and then we still have another week to wait before difficulty 5 comes out. Yeah. Now, one of the good things that they did, you know, it's still pretty boring. It's still auto fest. I'm not ready for the challenge of difficulty 5 yet, and I hope it is challenging, because that's the thing that all of us wanted. One good thing they did: special ops. Previously, last week, it was only 10 characters that you could place in the special ops, which meant to get all 240 of these special ops, you needed every single member of the Alliance to be placing at least 10 characters. Now you have a little bit of leeway. I believe the difference is 38 or 48 characters that you could
48,
play. 48. Okay. So this is a bit of overlap. Not everybody needs to place these. What do you think of this change? Is it enough to relieve some of the stress for leaders and captains?
I think it does relieve some of the stress because there's 48 extra characters left over now, which is really nice. And also what happens is some, like, our alliance is a perfect example, right? We have some pretty heavy spenders in our alliance that have a lot of the stuff that we don't. They've got like the diamond on Nimrod. They've got the diamond on like Zombie Iron Man, I think in Zone 4. So now they have an opportunity to kind of bridge the gap for people that don't spend as much as well, because now they can place 2 extra characters that are way harder to get or have those diamonds and stuff like that. So they can bridge the gap for the people that may not have those and can do the lower requirements, which I really, really like. And you can still complete Spec Ops now, even if you have 2 full players just completely AFK, you could still complete it, which is really nice, honestly.
Is 12 enough? I mean, they increased it from 10 to 12. Now we have 48 characters of leeway. Should it be maybe 14, 16, especially if these milestones for the Alliance are tied to that, which we're going to get to in a little bit?
I would like that, like 12 might be the lowest amount, like on difficulty 5, and then like the lower the difficulties you do, the more characters one person is allowed to put. So maybe like difficulty 0 can be 20 characters per person, and then it tailors down to like 18, 16, 14, 12,
That's
and then
smart.
12 is the hardest difficulty. So it takes the most alliance coordination, so that maybe Spec Ops for the lower alliances, you can have 3 or 4 or 5 people just go all in on Spec Ops and complete it, and those are the really highly engaged players, and everybody else can do the nodes. I think that would be pretty interesting, but I like it at 12. I think 12 is a good middle ground of it being a little bit more forgiving than just an alliance has to be perfect every single day. I don't think that's really realistic, even from our alliance, which is really engaged.
Yeah, and those some days that last week that we didn't hit all of it because just there was no leeway for everything. Now, other thing that happened, it got a little bit harder, still pretty much of auto fest, but we got some better rewards. Now, there's a lot of coordination that still is needed, but is these better rewards this is the season rewards. Does the extra rewards make it worth all the coordination is still required for Battleworld, all the extra time to sim through these battles?
I think it will once we get to the highest difficulty, because you can see in the leaderboard event right now, we're going to be getting diamonds for the new Emma Frost, all the way up to like top 7 or even up to like top 1,000. And these are our alliances. These are not players. So like the top 1,000 alliances are getting a 1 diamond Emma.
That's a good point. I just
thought
I'm out of it.
ISO. Yeah, like this is really good, honestly. And like if you're pushing for top 200, you're getting a 2 diamond on Emma. That's really good. So I mean, I think the rewards are pretty good, and I think the rewards will get better once we get to the higher difficulties, because then the milestones based on just alliance, not like the leaderboard, but just alliance performance, will get better. We'll get that Battleworld currency. We'll be able to get Gore and Thanos and stuff like that to get them up and ready to go for Arena, Cosmic Crucible, all that kind of stuff.
Now, these are the first strike rewards. We're going to get the real version and the real rewards on December 1st. Do you think that these will be increased? Is this kind of just a taste? Is this did this get divided? Because this is 3 weeks, and normal seasons would be every 4 weeks. So do we have like a certain percent of what their actual rewards are going to be? What do you think is going to happen on December 1st to these rewards when this expires?
I think it'll be the exact same. I think the only thing that's going to change is the Emma. Honestly, I think that's the only thing that's going to change, is so they can keep pushing one new character in this as a release method for diamonds, instead of doing auctions for every single character for diamonds, because that obviously tires out Krakens and stresses out their wallet a little bit. So they don't want to, exhaust them. So I think this is a good middle ground to still have them be able to be unlocked. And honestly, by a lot of people, I mean, 1,000 people, 1,000 alliances times 24 people is 24,000 people. That's a lot of people getting this. So like, just to get a 1 diamond, that's not too hard, honestly. So I really like that. But I think they'll just rotate the characters in here.
I'm glad you pointed out that these are top 1,000 alliances. I didn't. It's obvious, but I didn't even think about that till right now. So everybody should get some diamonds. Every engaged player should get some diamonds here. And I think that's a good thing. But let's talk about a thing that I don't think is good about Battleworld. Obviously, Spec Ops is not very fun. It takes a lot of coordination. And it would probably be an afterthought if we didn't have this Alliance milestone. I think the proper way to do this, if we didn't have this Alliance milestone, well, your normal missions and anything extra put into Spec Ops, because points that you get for Spec Ops aren't that much in the grand scheme of things. You're getting more points for killing Knull. It's more about how much you kill Knull and get through those other nodes. Because if you place a character in a Spec Ops and then you cannot beat a node, then it's kind of weird. But this is why people are placing in Spec Ops right now. And some decent rewards here. It's pretty easy to get like the non-meta items, but it's a little bit of a disappointment compared to what we got from the raids, right? The 2 previous months, the raid milestones, Orcus team, Night Stalkers team. It was pretty easy to max out all of these milestones, and now there's no real way to max it out unless you're spending. The limits that you get, 150,000, that gets you the meta item, but doesn't get you a lot. And what the differentiator was with the raid milestones that we had points per node. So it was possible to max this out. And now it's not possible to max this out unless you're spending. Do you see that moving as they do these Alliance milestones moving forward? Is this the way they're going to structure these? It's not possible to complete it? Because before those raid Alliance milestones, it wasn't possible to complete them.
Yeah,
we've kind of got used to it for the past couple months that you could get this all just pretty easily. What do you think moving forward? Because obviously they're probably going to do this for the release of the Astral Team. What do you think is going to happen next team? Is it going to be tough to complete, or is it going to be easier to complete like those raid milestones that we had for the Alliance?
I think moving forward, it's going to be this. I think, unfortunately, the raid milestones that were super easy to complete, and when I say super easy, it was like 70% on Orcus, and that was by the time a lot of people were starting to do 100% already. So it still takes an engaged alliance, right? But I think that was Scopely's way of kind of feeding us more purple ISO because Battleworld wasn't out yet, and Battleworld was supposed to be out and the main bottleneck for Odin. So I think that was their way of giving us more purple ISO. But the problem is you can't just go back and now make them harder again with the same rewards, because like people that don't have Odin right now and still need purple ISO, you're only getting like drip fed through Battleworld right now. And this milestone, you're not getting 500,000 ions every week from it like you were before. Because like this was the main way we were getting Odin quick, was that 500,000 ions right there. That's 2.5 characters. But nobody has that now. So like that was a big chunk of your ions and your orbs and stuff like that that's no longer there. So it's interesting, and it's not reallocated somewhere else either. So I don't know. I didn't like that very much.
All right, so Valley Club, let me know your thoughts. Do you think that they were trying to be generous the past couple months, now they're going back to their standard? Or are they just like, yeah, we want you to spend more on ISO 8, on the purple ISO 8, so we're not making these possible to complete anymore? Let me know what you think Scopely's rationale for this will be as we move on to the new characters that are going to be released later today. Emma Frost, she's all the way at the bottom right now because she's not technically available. How good is this character going to be? Obviously, on the Astral Team is going to have a lot of use, and the Astral Team is a Battleworld team, so they're going to be important for Battleworld, I'm guessing. The main question is, what is this team going to do, or what is this character going to do outside of the Astral Team? Does she have any use? We do have some X-Men callouts in her kit. And then does the Astral Team, if you don't have the Awaken abilities, have any value outside of Battleworld as well? The Awaken abilities make them good in war, but if you don't have the Awaken abilities, then they're not very good. So what is your valuation of Emma Frost right now?
It's a battle world team, and then there's, like you said, the Awaken abilities make this a war team, right? Yeah. And it's mostly like it's not as much her Awaken abilities as it is Ancient One's Awaken abilities, because Ancient One is the one who gives them speed up on spawn in war if she has the Awaken ability. So it's kind of for Emma. And the only good thing Emma is really going to be used for in Battleworld is going to be going against Knull, because the Knull boss fight, he gets the turn meter from like the rage mechanic or whatever, and her passive could potentially stop that rage and that bonus turn meter. So Astral is going to be probably the premier team to be going into the boss fight, which is standard, right? Yeah. But outside of war and Battleworld, this team is slow. So like if you put this team on defense in Cosmic Crucible, they're going to get rolled by like a New Warriors. Even with new stats, New Warriors is still going to burn through them. So like that's not impressive for a new team to put in Cosmic Crucible defense when a team on offense that's not really used very much anymore is going to be able to destroy them.
All right, so I think a highly engaged alliance towards the end game should be able to beat Knull at least once, which means 10 shards every week for Knull. Yeah, I mean, and you'll be able to kill Knull a little bit more with the Astral Team, with Emma, with Ancient One, when Shadow King eventually comes out, with Shadow King as well. But I think it seems like you're not getting more Knull shards unless when the real rewards come out, the leaderboard rewards at the end of the season, unless there's Knull shards there. I'm not sure if this is really going to affect your, like, the time frame that you get Knull. Do you think that, is there any more value for her that's going to add, like, speed up the time frame that you get Knull?
No, I think you're gonna be able to kill Knull as an alliance and get those 10 shards every week. I don't know if they're gonna put Knull shards on the leaderboard. If they do, then Astral just became a lot more important, right? Because you're gonna get Knull that much faster. And we just saw the kit. The dude shuts down Mephisto empowered on spawn, so he doesn't do his pact. He shuts down APOC punch, so he can't do the empowered punch. Like, what are the main like APOC has stayed in the meta for so long because APOC can one-shot almost anybody.
Yes.
He is shutting down that punch entirely. And Mephisto is going to absolutely turn to an offensive character now because he's shutting down that pact mechanic, and you're just going to delete him. He's not putting the exhaust. He's not putting the exposed. He's not doing anything. He just goes as a normal character now. So it's definitely interesting if they end up pushing some Knull shards to the leaderboard. Astral's investment and their importance just skyrocketed. But as of right now, I don't think you're going to need them to beat the boss on the highest difficulty to get those 10 shards. So not really needed that much. But you can't do the elite missions because Pegasus will not be able to go through the hardest difficulty.
That's true.
So that'll separate the leaderboard a little bit. But other than that, not that big of a difference.
So Astral Team is mainly a leaderboard separator as it stands right now. That may change on December 1st, but as of right now, not super important other than leaderboard standings.
Correct. That's how, in my opinion, yeah.
All right, let's get back to these awakened abilities. All these Astral characters have awakened abilities, and pretty much all it does extends the Battleworld abilities to war, making them viable in war. It's a little different release structure. We're getting some of these awakened abilities for free. Our Allaince donations is a place that we could get some of these. And this spot here, the third one, and the first one, we're getting some of the awakened abilities for Shadow King. We have some of the milestones, the bang for your buck milestones on there. You get some awakened abilities for Captain Britain. Shadow King has awakened ability there. The rewards for war, the rewards for Battleworld. We're getting a bunch of different awakened abilities for war. And not just all purchase, some of them for free. Do you enjoy this structure of releasing awakened abilities? Because some of them, they've had awakened abilities before, release them in a bunch of different ways. This is the first time they've had a full team and releasing it this way. Do you enjoy how they're doing this?
I actually kind of like it. Yeah, I like knowing there's a path outside of just I have to wait 4 months until Scopely decides they're free to play accessible. I like having a path of, people who want it right now can buy it. People who want to wait can wait and get drip fed that. It was kind of like with the Ares Awaken ability, right? To stop Safeguard on spawn. People who wanted to buy it day one could spend $35, buy it day one. Cool. I chose to wait and I got drip fed it. And then once I got it, I was like, oh, this is kind of nice. But I didn't have to wait, 5-6 months like for Green Goblin Classic Awaken abilities or Old Man Logan Awaken abilities. We still don't have full access to that in the raid store with the elite currency yet because we've just been getting like candy store and stuff like that. So I like the drip feed methods because it shows me a path outside of spending. I just want clarification if this drip feed method is going to be accessible for a certain amount of time. Hey, how hard do we have to push in Alliance milestones? Should we push for the 5th box every other day to make sure we're getting the Shadow King basic? Whatever it is, I want more clarification on that because I don't want it to just be like, oh, we're at 198 on Shadow King's basic. It's gone now. Goodbye. And we just can't get it.
I think the entire community would like that, but I don't think Scopely wants to give it at all because that doesn't feed into what they want. Yeah, that's how they make a lot of their money with that FOMO.
Absolutely.
So they're definitely not going to give any insight to that, but I would like that. The community would want that. And I do like that they give a lot of the stuff out for free. I think the Old Man Logan one, just being active during the weekends, you got his stuff for free and a bunch of gold. I like
that people were excited to blitz on a weekend. What unheard of world was that?
Blitzing.
That was awesome, dude. We got so much gold from that in Awaken ability. It upped their play time on weekends, which I don't know if that's a metric they look at. That's always been a joke in the community, but like people wanted to blitz on the weekend. That's how you do it. Give them gold and give them an awaken ability.
And it was a good awaken ability too. It wasn't like a crappy one. It was one of his better awaken abilities. So
yeah, man,
I like this. Let me know what you guys think of the awaken abilities released as like this as we move on to the big bad Knull. This guy is crazy. The boss Knull in the Battleworld is pretty crazy. This playable Knull looks to be even playable because, as you mentioned, his passive stops enemies like Apocalypse Mephisto from becoming empowered and gaining the upper hand. Also, he's immune to trauma, stun, slow, and his speed bar is untouchable. With just this, how much of a problem is this guy going to be? You already mentioned a few effects of the empowered, not gaining empowered. How much of a problem just this? Because there's a lot more that goes on to this kid.
Oh yeah, I mean the fact that he can't be stunned, he can't be slowed, like no trauma on him either, so you can't stick a stun on him, and the only really stop to him is a quick ability block, kind of like how we can kind of counter Odin a little bit with the quick ability block, but the darkness mechanic, like all of this stuff is ridiculous, and like stopping somebody like Apocalypse, who's literally been in the meta since release, which is almost 2 years now. And Mephisto, who's been a brick wall for people in Cosmic Crucible defense. We're starting to find counters like Odin, but a lot of people have Odin on defense, stuff like that. But like, this is a 100% Mephisto. If you're on defense, Knull absolutely destroys him. It's so nuts. And it's a lot of mind control abilities too. Like, this is a crazy kit.
Is Mephisto and Apocalypse dead once people have Knull unlocked?
Oh, hell no. No. It was funny. I was watching a stream this morning and somebody said, oh, should I not build Apocalypse or Mephisto now? Listen, people only have one Knull. They can only use him once on offense or put him on defense, whatever it is, right? Apocalypse and Mephisto are still ridiculously good everywhere. Now, Knull is going to take them out of the arena meta. Mephisto won't be, I don't think will be arena meta anymore after that. But Knull is still good, but you got to remember, APOC is still incredible for offense going into rooms that don't have Knull. Mephisto is going to be ridiculously good for a very, very, very long time, especially on offense, because you're choosing where you want to put him. Yeah, they're going to be real good for a long time. Don't try to start skipping them.
Oh, and one more thing. Even if you had difficulty 5, it's still going to be 18 more weeks until Knull you get that Knull unlock, unless there's something that changes with the leaderboards or something. But yeah, 18 weeks minimum for that. So yeah, definitely keep building Apocalypse, keep building Mephisto. They are definitely going to be worth it. But you mentioned this darkness mechanic, how it forces the enemy to attack their ally on turn. The damage by that attack increases with each darkness on the enemy. Also reduce the afflicted's damage and resistance, prevents gaining speed up, and allow Knull to heal on his turn, which increases per enemy with darkness. That is a crazy mechanic. So in addition to all that stuff that we mentioned earlier, that darkness mechanic just puts him over the top. This enveloping darkness is kind of like a darkness that kind of stacks over time or something like that.
Yeah.
But very, very strong character. How strong is darkness gonna be? And do you think he's gonna be the only character that has that darkness mechanic?
I hope so, because it's part of his battlefield effect as well, called enveloping darkness. So listen, I have a feeling Knull is not going to be the best on release when he's at 4 yellow, presumably 0 red, right? What's going to happen is he's going to ramp up quick with stats, because if you can't kill him quickly, this darkness mechanic is going to overwhelm you so quickly, and you're just going to be beating the crap out of your own allies. Like, you're just going to be hitting each other a bunch. He's going to heal more and more and more and more. So if you can't get a quick ability block and a quick delete on him, he is going to be ridiculously good. And he's going to be hard to kill, man.
I don't want to push back a little bit. I think even at low star levels, he's going to be very strong, because I don't think that I think it said the darkness cannot be resisted. I'm not sure if I'm remembering that wrong. But it's all your enemies, or it's all your allies attacking each other. So even a low star like Knull, if you go in with a high star team, they're going to be attacking each other. That's going to be tough to beat, I think. Unless
you can nuke Knull like 3 turns in with like somebody fast, like Superior 6 can just go in and hit hard. That's the only way I see Knull not just like overwhelming a team, honestly, which is crazy.
So bring Knull and 4 pre-taunts away from Knull so that they can't get to him. Yeah, that's so
right. That was my thought. I literally saw this and I went, all right, I'm going like Absorbing Man pre-taunt, Rogue for like a reflexive taunt, and a special extra taunt safeguard. That's what I was thinking. It was
hand
like a
Sentry. Hand Sentry? Is Hand Sentry back with Knull now?
That's what I was thinking. Like it's like a protect the Knull comp and just let him run rampant. That'd be kind of crazy.
All right. I also got to ask, because we have this symbiote tag here, and you're mentioning he's got a bunch of synergy with Gore. Is Agent Venom back now that we have all this synergy with these symbiotes and Knull? Especially because that symbiote kind of fell off, and he kind of got a little bit of resurgence with what was that symbiote? Oh, the Hive Mind a little bit within War. Is Agent Venom or any of these other symbiotes back?
I think the only symbiotes that are really gonna see play are gonna be Gore, obviously, because he's got new stats. He's
the ones that are here now.
Yeah, and I think Hive Mind is gonna start tailoring off, and I think it's only gonna be Void Knight, because Void Knight has that plug and play ult turn 1 that gives that 25% speed. So he goes super fast. He gets that clump and ability block and flip. So I think once Hive Mind falls out of the meta, I think only Void Knight and Gore are going to be used with him. There could be some potential with Red Goblin if Knull is allowed to be revived, but I highly doubt they're going to let him be able to be revived. That was not in the PDF. They didn't say one way or the other. So I don't think they're going to let him be able to be revived, because he's a nuts character, and Red Goblin with his charge mechanic would instantly make him pretty good on the team. So that could be interesting.
Maybe it gets 1 revive, because the boss Knull gets unlimited revives.
That's
most
true,
most of these good characters don't get revived, so Knull can be revived. Maybe it doesn't say in the kit, so I'm not sure if they forgot that or not. One thing I think that they did forget. Let's go to these tags here, and I'm not going to ask you specifically, but when you first saw this Villain Cosmic Mystic Controller symbiote, no mythic, no epic.
Yeah.
What did you think this means when you first saw these traits?
It was interesting, right? Because I guess so it seems like they're reserving Mythic for Dark Dimension, like solely for Dark Dimension, because that's the only characters that are released via Dark Dimension now, right? Yeah. And it looks like Epic is something that it's like these characters are going to be vaulted, right?
Costly,
correct, right? So I'm wondering if it's going to be something different, because this is like a slow drip. So I'm wondering if there's going to be either nothing or it's a slow drip, because they're going the route of there's no offers for Knull, right? But they're going the route of the slow drip, like Big Time Spider-Man was on release. Remember, it was from the raid rewards.
Yeah. Mr. Negative also.
And Mr. Negative,
slow drip with that.
Right, so I'm wondering if this is going to be maybe a new trait that kind of tailors to like a slow drip feed like this, or like Battleworld, something. Yeah, like a slow drip. I don't know.
Slow drip tag. The slow drip.
The slow drip tag. Right, you're right. But I don't know if that's how it's going to work. Another interesting discrepancy as well from the PDF to in-game is Knull's speed on the PDF was 127. In-game, he has a speed of 125, so I'm curious to see which one's right. Knull in-game does not have any tags, but in-game it says he has 125 speed. So I'm curious to see which one's correct, because 2 speed doesn't sound like a lot, but in this game, going from 125 to 127 instantly puts you above Kestrel, Eternals, like a lot of stuff that could really be interesting, because Eternals can still potentially get in front and just blow up a smaller Knull potentially. He's not going to rewind, but could potentially blow up a smaller Knull. You never know. So I'm interested to see which speed is actually correct as well.
Good catch on that. I didn't notice that. Quick thoughts on Enraged Carnage. I was thinking Carnage may have some synergy with Knull until I saw that there's an Enraged Carnage, a brand new Carnage that's going to summon. What are your thoughts on this Enraged Carnage? Big factor in the battle. He still has that passive that gives 30% speed bar for a random Knull ally. Not all symbiotes, but just Knull. How big of a factor do you think Carnage is going to be in the battles?
Carnage is going to be pretty nuts. I have a feeling Carnage is going to be really good, because so the way summons usually work, right, is summons scale off of the summoner's stats.
Yes.
So Knull's going to have new stats, right? So I'm presuming this Enraged Carnage is going to have nuts stats. And the thing is too, is if this Carnage is hitting super hard and giving that turn meter, he's going to be giving that turn meter a bunch to Knull, and he's going to put darkness out there more and more and more the more he hits. And then your allies are going to be punching each other, potentially feeding into that Carnage turn meter passive. So like this is kind of ridiculous. And his special also is the same thing with the stacking of the negative effects as well. So if he specials on somebody, he's going to delete, and that's going to give that turn meter and then more and more and more. So it's interesting. I really like that they incorporated at least one summon, because we have the boss mode that has a bunch of summons, right? It's like all the symbiotes. So I really like they incorporated, honestly, the best mechanic symbiote with the turn meter. I really like that they included this in the kit.
Yeah, the passive makes it, but this special is going to be crazy. Now, the good thing is, you don't have to worry about it right away. It is 3 out of 5, but you do have to start to worry about it, because that's going to be a big damage. One of your characters is probably going to get deleted.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Shadow King. This character, we got the announcement of his event. It is a little bit of a surprise. It is coming next week, November 22nd. What did you think of the timing of this? We knew it was going to be sometime in November, because December 1st is when the farmability of the Annihilators changed from Battleworld shop to other places. So we knew it was going to be before that, but the timing next week. Are you ready for Shadow King?
Yeah, I'm pretty ready. I know the requirements are, the main requirements are Illuminati and Annihilators. Illuminati, they did have that mess up with Pocket Dimension, where they gave a bunch of, where we were able to rerun Pocket Dimension over and over again for the rewards. So you got a bunch of shards for that. So I'm all maxed out with my Illuminati, all ready to go. My Annihilators are almost maxed out as well, actually. I'm missing like 30 shards for Gore, and then everybody will be 3 diamonds. So my Annihilators are going to be fully ready to go as well.
Nice.
But the best part about this is you don't even need it. 6 stars and you could do the highest difficulty. So that's pretty awesome. So if you could really push your roster, you may not need that 7th star, but I have a feeling difficulty 15 is going to be tailored to 3 diamonds, fully maxed out.
Well, if we look at the leaderboards, only 5,000 people will get a 6-star Shadow King. Only 500 will get a 7-star Shadow King. Compared to Old Man Logan, 1,500 got a 7-star. And compared to other ones before we got these tokens, where it's just whoever wanted to get it could get that. So how much of a grind or how much of a bottleneck will you see at the leaderboards for this? I mean, there's going to be a lot of people with very similar scores, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm calling now the top score to the top 500 score is going to be like efficiency based. It's not going to be like a difference of somebody else had a pact on and somebody didn't. I think it's going to be like less than 1,000 or 2,000 points, because obviously the Krakens are going to get a better efficiency because all their characters are fully maxed out, so they're able to go through the nodes 2, 3, 4, 5 turns quicker than somebody like me. So I think that's the only separation it's going to be, because it's been what, 3 months since Annihilators first came out, so they're in bumps already. They're already in the Battleworld store, so we're getting slow drip fed that. So a lot of people are going to be competing at the top difficulty. And I don't think 500 is enough. I think it does need to be expanded to probably 1,500 or maybe even 2,000.
I think it should be expanded as well. Hopefully, they still have a week. Hopefully, they could change some things. One other thing, Captain Britain has no star requirements. You know, if you look at these nodes here, 6 yellow star Illuminati or Annihilators or Captain Britain. So Captain Britain could be whatever star level, but does say that they recommend bringing him at the star level required of the other characters, but the choice is yours. How much of how much tuning do you think the nodes are based around Captain Britain versus Iron Man as that 5th spot of the Illuminati?
So Captain Britain is a really good passive, right? So he's gonna so the Crucible abilities are potentially going to be on for this, right? For your Scourge run, and putting that Crucible ability on would mean Captain Britain passive is on, which means that nobody can gain speed. So if you go against a Super Scroll, he's not going to get that extra turn meter from his passive. Old Man Logan, all this kind of stuff, right? So that's going to be a big factor in that, if just even having him there. But the problem is he reflexively taunts. So if you only have a 3 yellow Captain Britain and you're just trying to pray for good RNG and he's sitting on the side, if he gets a reflexive taunt from Hank dropping below 50% anybody, then guess what? Everybody's going to be going all in on him, and that could be a big problem of trying to kind of finesse these nodes with a smaller Captain Britain.
All right, so do you think that these early nodes, node 2 is going to be tuned for needing Captain Britain, or it's going to be the mission 10 that's tuned for needing Captain Britain?
I think node 2 will be a little bit more forgiving, because you can only bring in Illuminati there, because for node 10 you can bring in both Annihilators and Illuminati, and the I'm presuming the arena pack is going to be on to make Annihilators really good, right? You have the arena pack.
You need that one. You need that one. You need that one there.
So that would be kind of essential. So I don't know. I think the second node won't be too bad, but the problem is if you can like limp through it and hope that your Annihilators can carry node 6 and all of one-shot node 10, then maybe. But it's yet to be seen. It depends how hard the nodes are. It depends how hard the stats are. It depends how hard the characters are.
All right, nodes 3 and node 7 feature global villain characters. We have Apocalypse, we have Cabal, we have Orcus. How challenging do you think this is gonna be? I mean, it looks like we got a lot of good characters. So do you think there's gonna be a lot of strong enemies that we need to face for this?
Yeah, I would be quite shocked if this node was somehow made hard. Unless they put like Captain Britons on the defense or they put like Shuris on against us, because Cabal is just gonna delete this. Like it's Cabal and then they get the speed up unless Shuri is there with a charged, right? Because that could happen and then they stop villains from getting speed up. But if you have APOC, Cabal, and even just like a Lady Deathstrike and Agatha with new stats, whatever it is, this is gonna delete. Even Doom is a good use of maybe taking somebody on the Doom ride to delete a wave super quick. Undying is on here as well.
Ares, Morgan Le Fay.
There are so many options for this. I would be shocked if they find a way to make this a really hard node, because you have Orcus on here too. Like, Orcus is really good for this. Like, I'd be shocked if they're able to make this really
Orcus
hard.
team. Full Orcus team.
Full Orcus.
All right, now we do have some data mines on Reddit, and this is about the nodes. So this may or may not change. I know some of the packs and stuff may change, they said. So these nodes, what they have on the bosses may change in a week. But as of right now, and thanks to Casper on Reddit for finding these, but node 3 global villains, looks like we have at least according to the data mine, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Captain Carter, Infinity War, we have a Darkhawk, Black Knight, Rescue Ironheart. Doesn't look too challenging as far as node 3. And if we go forward to the next node with global villains, Black Widow, another Black Widow, Big Time Spider-Man, Elsa Bloodstone, Ant-Man, Ghost Swarm, Dr. Voodoo, Baron, Mordo, Agatha, Morgan Le Fay. Seems pretty easy.
What are these choices? They don't counter anything we have to use. Like that, like I just look at that and go, Cabal is going to absolutely roll this node. Like at both of them, like no challenges whatsoever. Cabal will destroy all of these.
All right, so yeah.
Oh, man. Oh man.
All right, so I guess that answers my next question. You hope this is probably not true because it'd be way too easy.
Yeah, I hope there's some sort of counter to Cabal. Maybe the last wave has like a Black Panther Shuri to stop the speed up. I'm hoping there's some sort of counters to the good characters we have, because that's what makes Surge fun. I don't want to just bring in the big characters that I already have built and get it gated behind the characters that you haven't let me build all the way yet. Like, I want it to be engaging and hard and challenging, but...
Well, I guess the challenge is to do it in less turns than everybody else. Not about beating the nodes. It's about doing it in less turns than everybody else. That's where the challenge is going to lie for this.
Yeah, can't wait to have to reset a bunch to get a good rebound chain so a character dies one turn faster than last time.
18 turns. I did it in 16 turns. God. I'm the winner.
Yeah, dude. So, and you know me, man. I love Scourge. I love resetting Scourge. It's so fun for me to min-max it and see what works, see what does it. I love doing it. This is the best game mode that they have ever come out with. But I'm hoping it's not like the Old Man Logan trial where everybody is capped at their difficulty and it's just cake to walk through, because that was a problem with leaderboards. Well,
the good thing is 6 stars for the max difficulty right now. So that does give hope that we can attempt the harder difficulty. Now, next section, mission 4 and mission 8, brawlers, non-mythic. A lot of great choices here. We got some of the Annihilators. You probably don't want to use the Annihilators. You probably want to save them for later. But Blade, Lady Deathstrike. We can't use Ultimates or Super Skrull, but pretty much all the other brawlers are available. Red Hulk, Deathpool, Namor again, Black Cat, Vulture. Yeah. Lots of great characters. Do you think we're going to struggle at all before I show you the data mines about what we could expect from the brawler section?
I think this could potentially be the hardest one, because...
wait, do you see the next one? What do you see the next one?
This could be potentially the hardest one here, because like Thanos is just Thanos alone. Blade has Moon Knight, right? So, okay, cool. Nightcrawler's a great plug and play character because he gives speed to non-X-Men allies and stuff like that. Vol could be good to prep on a non-restricted node as well and get that ult maybe ready and have like an exposed mechanic working with Thanos as well. So maybe Vol will be really important here. But... Deathpool, maybe you could prep the charges to get an instant delete on a big tank or something like that. But I don't know. This one looks like it could be a little bit more challenging. You have Red Hulk there to prep too, possibly. But this could be a little bit more challenging, but it doesn't look too bad. Not being able to use Super Scroll is definitely a hindrance for sure.
You know what? I think you may be right. You know, there's a lot of good characters here, but no synergy. I was thinking the next one, the Undying with Mercs, they're war teams. We don't have any war abilities that are going to be active in this, so I thought that may be struggling. But yeah, there's no real synergy with any of these characters. There's just a lot of good characters. All right, let's move forward with the data mines. Brawler section, what it says here, Sentinel, Lady Deathstrike, Sentinel, Silver. Oh, it's going to be like Dark Dimension. All these Sentinels that we have to get through. And then the next Brawler section, we have a Rogue Gambit, Iceman, Cyclops. Oh, yeah, this is tough. Getting through the Rogue Gambit, Colossus Magic. All right, so the Global Villains looks pretty easy. The non-mythic Brawlers looks like it's going to be challenging.
Yeah, the Node 8 looks a little interesting with a Rogue, because Rogue is obviously super quick. So you're going to need to have like Nightcrawler Special probably ready to go to make sure you can get in front of that Rogue and give your allies some turn meter and stuff like that. So there may be some planning with this for Node 8. Node 4 looks just tedious of like you're going to be beating into big Sentinels, kind of like Dark Dimension 8 was with the global hero nodes. But I hope that's not what's going to stop us from being efficient on it, of just beating into a 25 million health Sentinel for 35 turns. That I don't know. That's not fun. That's just a punching bag that I'm not going to die to, right?
That Dark Dimension 8, with those Sentinels was not fun.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
It was challenging though. It was challenging though. It wasn't fun, but it was challenging.
Yeah, it was challenging. I enjoyed that. I liked that.
All right. Last section here, the section I've mentioned already, Mercs and Undying. I think this should be pretty easy, except there's no war bonuses. We got a lot of these war characters. You can use a full Mercs for money. You can use a full Undying. You also have Taskmaster, which a lot of people are using for upgrading for Battleworld and that section with the Mercs and things like that. Do you foresee any problems with this Merc Undying section, even without the war bonuses? I mean, Old Man Logan works in every single game mode.
Right, unless they have a bunch of permanent kills for Old Man Logan to not be able to get revived off of, that could be a potential kind of counter to him. But like, it's Old Man Logan, dude. He's gonna, like, the second he ults, I think the node it's over. And I feel like we have a good amount of mercenaries as well to be able to do some sack teams as well, with just like minions coming in and just soaking up abilities. And then we have Undying with Taskmaster that could potentially do really well. The problem is, I see if they put a War Pact on here, Mercs for Money will just absolutely destroy these nodes. Like, Mercs for Money would have no problem. And then Undying would also have no problem, because Scarlet Witch with War Packs is nuts. Like, they're a ridiculous team.
All right. That's probably why they didn't put it on. Now that you say that out loud, okay.
That's the problem. I feel like it'd be way too easy.
All right, and it may be easy if you have Old Man Logan looking at these data mines here. When we go to the data mines, I don't see any gore on the field for Undying Mercs. Spider Weaver, Titania, Absorbing Man, Deathpool, Moonstone, Val, Moonstone, Kang, and Ultron. I think Old Man Logan is going to solo this.
Yeah, I mean, Spider Weaver will get 5 charges on her ult with the Cosmic Crucible abilities active.
As long as you get someone going before her. Does Old Man Logan go before her?
No, so Spider Weaver's 127, I believe, and Old Man Logan's only 120, and you have 2 pre-taunts there with him. So you have Absorbing Man and Absorbing Man with his pre-taunts there. So you might not be able to get to the Spider Weaver quickly, so you might have to just basic out until you get past the charges and then just kill her. Like, it won't take too much time, but that's interesting.
Yeah, Old Man Logan's not gonna die, man. He's got to get that revive once or something. He's just gonna keep going.
So Spider Weaver does have a permanent kill, though. Remember, she permanent kills on everything.
Okay.
So there's a potential permanent kill there. Kang ult permanent kills. Ultron ult removes revive, if I'm not mistaken. So there are some permanent kills here that could be problematic. So those could be interesting. What about the next node? What do we got for the next one?
All right, the next we have Cloak, Dagger, Nova, Thor, Groot, Cosmos, Star-Lord Annihilation, Star-Lord, Firestar, Gwenpool, Korg, Adam Warlock, Thor, Infinity War, Moondragon, Deathpool. This seems even easier to me on its surface.
I feel like this node would be way worse if the war abilities were active, because we'd be going against Nowhere with Nova and stuff like that. So the only permanent kill I see here is Nova ult. That's the only permanent kill I see here, other than like if Deathpool gets to 5 charges somehow. But if you're playing that long, you probably played it wrong anyway. Just reset. But the only permanent kill there is Nova.
I know I see thematically why they included Groot, but why would they do that like challenge wise instead of why would they put Gore in there instead of Groot just to make it super hard?
So Groot with new stats could be super tanky. So every time you hit a Groot, you actually put slow on your own character. And Groot has a revive chance as well. And then when any allies, I think it might be Guardian allies die, he gives like defense up, offense up, and immunity to all allies that are still alive after that. So Groot could be kind of interesting. He's got like a cleanse. He was a pretty decent kit.
In the day. He's got a pretty good back in the day.
Yeah, man. So he could be decent, especially if he's sitting there with, 25 million health and he's healing off of percent max health. He could be pretty interesting. So that could be something, but the nodes don't look too bad. It looks like the Old Man Logan show as per usual.
All right, last node, the Illuminati Annihilators, node 10, Thor, Jane Thor, Loki, Thor, Sylvie, Sif, a lot of Asgardians, but wave 4, Odin. How much of a problem do you think this is going to be with Illuminati Annihilators? Do you think they're going to be able to bust through this at the highest difficulty, 6 stars, or we would need 7 stars maxed out, purple gear, everything?
It'll be interesting. I think it depends on how the wave drops, because if Odin is just specialing before he does his basic or before he assists, who cares? And guess what? He can't assist when the Annihilators are going up against him because Gore stops assists in Arena and you have the Arena rules on. So he's never going to assist anyway. So if you can get through probably the first 2 waves with Illuminati and then Annihilators can come in and clean it up after that, I don't think this is going to be much of a challenge at all, honestly. Unless that Odin has like ridiculous stats and is like a beast to kill. But other than that,
All right, we're gonna need some crazy packs for this because it looks like the enemies are pretty easy and it's gonna be about the packs and when everything drops and the actual power levels of the enemies, how strong and their stats are gonna be. We have a few packs. I think they said that some of these may change, especially the percentages.
Yeah.
We got the Crucible abilities, Arena abilities, mutant villain characters deal extra damage, villain tech characters spawn enemy will lose 5% resistance, start turn cosmic villain characters gain more speed for every positive status effect they have. Bio villain characters heal for 10% max health when they defeat an enemy. When a character defeats a hero character or a player character, they gain more speed bars. Global hero characters gain 5% damage for each Avenger, Wakandan, or Inhuman ally. Any of these packs stand out to you that will make it a lot harder? Or, I mean, obviously there'll be some that make it easier, right? With this Arena and Crucible, but anything that's gonna, like with the Old Man Logan trials and some of the previous ones, you needed to equip all of them because they were beneficial to you. Do you do you see any that's gonna hinder you?
So go back to the Magneto one. Was that also mutant villain characters? Okay, so it's only villain. Okay, so then go back to the last couple then. So the last one is going to be helpful for you because you have an Inhuman ally in Black Bolt. So you're going to get 5% extra damage for Global Hero, which is pretty much all of Illuminati. So you're getting an extra 5% damage there, but 5% is so negligible. I'm wondering if they're going to change that percentage. And then the only one that looks really interesting is Villainous Momentum. When a character defeats a hero character or player character, they gain 50%. Right? That could be interesting outside of the Illuminati and Annihilator nodes because Illuminati and Annihilator stop the turn meter, right? Because if you have Captain Britain, he stops the turn meter, and then Annihilator stop the turn meter in Arena when they have 3 or more allies. So, but like outside of that, that is the only one that I look at and go, ooh, that's going to take some strategy. The other ones are kind of meh. Like there's not too much impactful. Yeah, there's not too much impactful stuff. Like bio villain characters heal 10% if they defeat an enemy. So if Gladiator's killing people, he's healing 10% of max health because he's a bio villain. I think Gore's a bio villain too, so he's going to be healing if he gets kills. So a lot of this stuff helps, and based off of the nodes that they're showing, and bio villain is also Undying, so they're going to be healing a bunch as well. So it's going to make it easier to get through those nodes healthier as well.
You think they're going to add any other packs? Or
I hope so.
This
honestly,
and they're going to change the percentages?
Dude, what I want is every pack that they've ever had for any trial, just throw it in here. They should be additive. There should be 70 packs we can choose from. Because remember the Scourges when they first came out? We had like 30 or 40 Scourges to pick from. And it was like a mix and match of which like 30 of them can you do to really, really max it out. I want that. Give us 180 choices and let me see how many I can really do with this, because that would make it more engaging.
Ooh. Oh, I would like that. Yeah, the Morgan Le Fay one is really tough, and it was all like ones that hurt you. Like, oh, should I do this one? Should I do this? Now it's the more recent ones. They've been very, very helpful. So I hope they go back to the hurtful ones, because that you gotta strategize with that. You can't just go in there like equip everything and go.
Yeah, guess what? Your special is 2 turns away instead of 1 turn away now.
Oh, I forgot those. Those are tough.
Use your ult. Guess what? You're now blind after you use your ult. Like, stuff like that was so fun to play around. It was so intriguing.
Why do you think they removed that from the most recent trials?
They changed it. So the trials went to a pact system. So the pact system affects the enemies and affects your team, positively and negatively. Scourges only affected you negatively or only affected the enemy positively. So they changed it because it was like the making a deal with Mephisto, is you get some good, but you get some bad, because like thematically it worked. But I want the Scourge system back. We're out of the
Mephisto season, though.
Exactly.
We're out of the Mephisto season.
Give me the Scourge system back. Give me every single Scourge we used to have. Let me throw on 800 worth of modifiers and let me see if I can pull it off. That sounds fun, man.
That'll give some leaderboard separation as well.
Yep,
yeah, that's a great idea. Excellent idea. I like that.
Absolutely.
All right, so Captain Britain looks like he's going to be a lot of separator in this event. And I was very disappointed with this. I was looking forward to this for weeks when we saw the announcement. Went live yesterday, and you could get a chance for 1 Captain Britain shard. I have gotten 0 so far. Let's go open 2 here. Let's see if we get any Captain Britain shards. Same result and nothing. So I've gotten nothing. Let's do 1 refresh here. I'll spend these 50 cores for the video.
Wow, for the video.
Captain Britain. Oh, my first one. Yeah, I got to do it on video. That's the secret.
Wow.
All right, what do you think? All right, and despite me getting 1 Captain Britain shard, what do you think of this event?
So it's funny because I did testing on this too, right? I did 40 attempts on this node and I got 3 shards. And I don't need the shards. I'm maxed out Captain Britain. I don't need them, but I was curious. I got 3 shards. So I had a 7.5% drop rate. You just did 12 attempts and got 1 shard. That almost mirrors my percentages. You're a little bit higher on your percentages, but it's pretty much the exact same.
If you recorded all the ones that I had before, I probably have a lower percentage too, because I've gotten 0 in all the ones before.
Yeah, so like if this is terrible, and like if you want, click on the actual the core option again. If you just click on it and hold for a second. So the refresh rate is the damn problem. So
5 minutes is a normal. 5 minutes is normal.
5 minutes is the normal. I talked about this in a video that I just put out today too. 5 minutes is normal. This is 12 minutes.
More than double.
Double.
Yes.
So I realized it because when I woke up this morning, I wasn't maxed out on the showcase energy like I was for Astral. And I was at 0 energy for both of them when I went to bed because I made sure it was empty. Yeah. And then when I came back, my Astral energy was full, but this was at like 65. And I'm like, why is that the case? So I looked and I'm like, oh, I see the problem. That's terrible.
It's a scam. Fix your scam, Scopely.
That's terrible. No, that's bad. That is intentionally being bad.
Oh yeah. Well, it's their epic character. They want to make it in the most expensive way possible.
I don't give a damn. It's been 4 months. Everybody should be able to have a 4-star, no red Captain Britain. And if they want to invest in him in the Elite Store, go for it. And if you want to core a bunch, you should be able to push and get to a potential 5-star. Because guess what? A Captain Britain at 5 yellow, 0 red is still not a great character. He is a standing passive that gets deleted pretty quickly. So you still need to invest in him with reds to make him really, really good in potentially the trial and Cosmic Crucible. So what's the harm in that? There is none, but it's just the greed.
I got a 4-star Captain Britain. Very useful in Cosmic Crucible right now. I don't think it's gonna be useful in the Shadow King trials, but Cosmic Crucible, that is enough, at least for myself. But yeah, do you think it's worth refreshing this if you don't have enough stars in your Captain Britain for the what your goal is in the Shadow King trials?
If you have excess candy, it's better to still refresh the candy store, because the candy store is, I think, still there for 4 days, I think.
Okay, and you get 10 shards. You got
a better chance at that. You get 10 shards. If you get if you get 1 out of every 10 shops, right? You're essentially guaranteeing it'd be the equivalent of doing this and getting a shard every single time you did 10 attempts. So like, why would you not try to go for the candy store? The candy store is just better at that point.
All right, you've convinced me. The math just works out. Totally.
It's
Let's talk about
terrible,
these milestones, though. These Illuminati Assemble milestones. I thought there would be more shards for him. We got 30 shards total. Yeah,
Wow.
you get more shards on the milestones, the bang for your buck milestones, spending $20. You get 35 there. You get 30 doing this whole thing. I didn't do the math. I don't know if you have to like do all the refreshes or you have to make sure that you're not letting any energy drop off to get all 30 of these shards, but very, very low amount. 10 days, yeah, I don't think I'm going to get the max of this at all. So how disappointed are you with this entire Illuminati event that they publicized?
Oh, it's terrible. Because like, let's say you get three shards a day from farming the nodes, right? That's 30 shards because it's a 10-day long event, right? And then you're getting potentially, if you go all the way as far as you can in this milestone with shards, you're getting 30 shards from there. So you're telling me this event wouldn't even guarantee me an unlock in case I didn't buy anything from the candy store? You're telling me I could potentially not get an unlock when this is the rerun and you guys were touting how generous you were for putting the rerun of Captain Britain before the Shadow King event, which on paper sounded 10 out of 10. I was like, Scopely, this is awesome. This is great. This is incredible. This is player friendly. I even said it in the Envoy chat. And now I have rescinded that statement and I've said, this is absolutely terrible.
Well, with the information we had at the time, it looked really,
yeah,
really
it looked
good.
great.
With the
I was like,
information we
this
have
is
now,
awesome.
Doesn't look good.
Terrible.
Terrible. All right. So
Fake generosity.
I don't think there's any way you can spin that this is good, but I do think that this Green Goblin classic catch-up event, I think this is great. Now, it kind of feels bad for myself or players like you that we can't get a lot of this stuff, but I do like them introducing catch-up mechanics, getting these new warriors, getting these other characters that help get your Green Goblin classic a lot faster because he is a meta character. How much more of these type of catch-up events do they need for newer and mid-game players to get them closer to the meta faster?
So they actually did something like this for the second run of the Old Man Logan trials. Remember?
Yes.
For like upgrading Cabal and stuff like that?
Yes.
This is incredible. This is a way to catch people up without affecting anything at the end game that no one cares about. This is absolutely awesome. They need to do this, like a milestone like this should be a 100% across the board milestone that they run every time a second run of a character is put out. And they should make this a permanent milestone for all of the older legendaries like Black Cat, Nova. This should be a permanent milestone so people don't feel bad for upgrading those characters to unlock a legendary. Because a lot of the advice people like me and Dorky Dad have been giving lately is Nova is not worth even unlocking because you have to build teams that are subpar. It's not worth it at this point because you have to build like Superior 6 to the damn roof, and most of them are not worth it for a lot of lower game players who don't compete in Crucible yet or don't care about war because war rewards are negligible. This needs to be a staple of the game to catch people up. This is awesome.
Yeah, like I was gonna push back a little bit when you said every second run, but when you said permanent, not having it end, just put this in a game. Everybody catch up, do it when you want. Now they would need to change the scoring because I think it's some of it is based on your the orb fragments that you get. So even if you can't rank up these characters, you could still get some points. So older players could still get some points. But make this permanent. I like that. Just keep it in there. We need more catch up mechanics. I think that's great.
Absolutely.
All right, another catch-up mechanic that they've done for the past few months. We've got a candy store. We've got a turkey store now. Previous to that, we had an ISO 8 purple store. What are your best things that you're finding in the turkey store at this point? Are you refreshing this for more turkeys, the Moon Dragon passive? This Mephisto Red Star Arbs looks very, very appealing. However, I'm not going to buy it yet until these milestones refresh because I've already maxed out the milestones for this week. So Sunday, I'm going to buy this again. What do you think of this turkey store? Did you buy one of these previously? And if so, what did you get in your orb?
Yeah, so what I'm buying is I'm just buying the turkey. I'm buying the turkey every single time. I haven't bought any of the awakened abilities or anything like that because I'm just kind of the mind of it's war. It is what it is. I'll get the abilities when I get the abilities. It's not, we don't take war that seriously, so I'd rather try to help out with going for those Mephisto Red Star Orbs. And I have opened up one.
Okay.
And I got
2
Diamond Peggy, unfortunately.
Okay. I don't even remember I got. I don't even remember I got. It's a 1 diamond duplicate. It was so impactful that I can't even remember it.
So I will say the odds are pretty good. You have a 25% chance to get Mephisto at either 6 or red. 6 or 7, I mean. So like the odds are pretty damn good. I have to admit, like I'm shocked the odds are as good as they are. There's also, if you go to the 3 diamond option and click on the little eye, Black Knight's in there. That's a dark promotion credit character. Now, is that an absolute out of the way chance to potentially get that? Yeah, but still, even just a chance at a dark promotion credit to get diamonds
20% chance.
That's not bad, man.
I'll
take it. It's not 0. You're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
So like, and there are some good characters in that to get diamonds on. So like, it's not terrible. Especially for people that maybe don't buy like battle passes and stuff like that and don't score super high in Cosmic Crucible. This might be a good way to get some diamonds up for you and have that chance at a Mephisto, because you know those dark promotion credits from Mephisto are going to be exorbitantly expensive. So if you can save them anywhere, that's why I feel like it's the best.
Now, Crimson Gear is a pretty good value as well. Are you buying any Crimson Gear, or are you just saving up for these Mephisto Red Star Orbs?
Just saving up for the Mephisto Red Star Orbs. I've been pretty good on Crimson Gear. I was really careful about not being wasteful on taking up a bunch of like older characters once I got Mephisto and Odin done and stuff like that. Yeah. As of right now, the only characters I'm taking up to G19 are the reworks with the new stats, and then all the new characters with the new stats, because those are the most impactful. So I'm not really backtracking at all. Like I've wanted to take Dormammu to G19 for a while because he's just a staple because of his revives and stuff, but I can't convince myself with how much Mystic gear it takes. I'd rather take up Ultimus and Silver Surfer to make my trials easier.
Yeah, he's an expensive character, but he's pretty good. If you have the extra resources. Let's move on to this Oath event right now. This is kind of the release event for Oath. Pretty easy to get the meta item, in my opinion, based on Battleworld, and this is actually the waves in Battleworld, not the Spec Ops, which the Allaince stuff is based on. But you do have to spend a little bit of cores, maybe a few of the 100 refreshes to get the whole 100 shards for Oath in these milestones. What do you think of this event, the structure, the ease of the meta item, the ease of getting that Oath unlock?
This is awesome. I think I'm like 1,000 points away from milestone 15 right now. I don't have to core campaign energy or the astral energy anymore. So I'm just sitting pretty. I'm just going to start hoarding energy, hoard my cores, and I'll be able to get all the shards that were available here. I thought this event was extremely player friendly. And I like that we now have new engagement for milestones. Now we can add Battleworld to that as well. So it's not just the same Battle in War, Battle in Arena, do this, spend like it's another addition to it, right? So that's kind of nice. I think it'll be interesting to see if the next event that has the same scoring methods will be this generous, or if this was just them trying something new because it's a new point system, right? And they didn't know how generous to be with it. And if it was too generous or not generous enough, it'll be interesting to see if this is a recurring level of generosity, because this is a great event. This is awesome.
Yeah, I like this. Something that you don't have to spend too many cores. You don't have to do too many real world purchases. Just like grind and do a few core spending, but not super crazy. Now, the thing that we got, the orb that we're getting in this is this Orderly Disorder orb. Kind of goes in line with the Green Goblin. You know, you're spending campaign energy. All the campaign nodes have some of these shards for this Disorderly orb. More of a catch-up mechanic for a Green Goblin Classic, and going in conjunction with those milestones. What do you think of including this as kind of an additional catch-up mechanic for newer players in addition to that Green Goblin Classic event?
Yeah, this is awesome. This just increases the flow of these characters, because someone like Peggy, I think, is only farmable in the Cosmic Crucible store, if I'm not mistaken. So like the Cosmic Crucible store is highly contested for a lot of mid-game players trying to get Black Knight. I think Nightcrawler's in there, Quicksilver's in there. There's a lot of, like, Penny Parker's in there. There's a lot of really, really good characters in there. So I think this is a great way to help relieve those bottlenecks where people don't have as much blitz currency as we do. People don't have as much arena currency as we do to get characters that are in those stores. I think Mockingbird and Ronin are in the arena store, or Mockingbird's blitz, Ronin is arena store. So this helps those bottlenecks and really pushes people forward. Do more of this, Scopely. Do a lot of changes to skyrocket early and mid game, because I want to face them. I want more people at the end game where we have more challenges, more engagement, because that's how you get people to really want to play your game.
that's kind of how the game is designed, right? To get the newest characters to participate in the newest events. And if you're a newer player, sometimes you're kind of locked out of some of the newer events. All right, let's go to my favorite game mode at this point. Probably yours as well, Cosmic Crucible. We're in third week of this season. What are your thoughts in this season? Any interesting counters that you saw? Any interesting defenses that you saw? Any weird results that you saw?
So I think the room rules are a little stale. I don't really care for the raid room because it's just raid room. It's become Spider Societies on offense and beats pretty much everything.
Even Mephisto, even Odin's, everything.
Oh yeah, much, everything. So I actually ran into something in my last 2 Crucibles. So somebody ran 3-piece Spider Society with Sus and Black Cat on defense, and my Spider Society got absolutely destroyed. So Black Cat stops the on-spawn speed from my bio Spider Society characters.
Room 3 that happened?
In room 3.
Ooh,
yep.
Okay.
Super Scroll gets a bunch of turn meter from Spider Society, all the positive effects and stuff like that, and I ended up not clearing that room. So that was pretty interesting. I ended up facing something similar the next day, and then I just sacked it with Bifrost, and then Spider Society rolled it. But I have a feeling if you just use like Spider Society out with North Star to stop that turn meter from Super Scroll, it's a pretty cake matchup. I just didn't have North Star on offense.
Now that seems like it's a tough defense. Is it worth pulling Spider Society, in your opinion, off of defense, putting them on, or pulling them from offense, putting them on defense for such a challenging defensive team?
Personally, no. I don't think so, because I think it's just too much of a sink. Because I mean, Spider Society is just so good on offense, it just makes room 3 completely null and void. Like I know a lot of people have been using like Mephisto Night Stalkers in 3, and they can't one-shot it, so they just resort to double sacking it. You could just single sack it and then use Spider Society, and the exhaust from the 20% less stats, you absolutely destroy it. Nice. So instead of having to double sack it, it's still a single sack, so it's nowhere near as good as like having a Mephisto room where you have to guarantee a double sack. It's still not as good. So Spider Society is still great on offense, in my opinion.
Gotcha. Now, you like Crucible? Another one on Allaince Mace. Juicy likes Crucible. I have heard on stream that you guys are facing each other next week because you guys are just smashing it in Crucible.
There is a potential. We are about like 12 points separated. So I think he's in like the 50s or 40s right now, and I think I'm around like 73. So we are really, really close to potentially facing off. So that would be really fun. I love facing people that I know because it's always a good time. So that would be really, really fun to do.
And when does the matchmaking come out? Sundays?
Saturday.
All right, we'll see Saturday.
Everybody
will
know. Everybody's gonna know. I'm
that'll be awesome.
Everybody. Absolutely. Yeah, that'll be really fun.
Have you guys ever faced each other in a real Cosmic Crucible matchup? No. I know some of the Envoy ones we face each other, but no.
Juicy's otherworldly. Like for how much he spends on the game to be constantly in the top 100 is ridiculous. Like that, he is the definition of a skill gap can really, really gap between a wallet. Like he is the definition of that. And I will always say that he is without a doubt probably the best Cosmic Crucible player. Him and the current #1 player as well is in a lot of our chats as well. His name's Solowner in our chats. Yeah. He is ridiculously good too. Like they understand this game at a level that is just nuts. So yeah, I've never faced him, but if I face him, Lord help me. I know I won't win, but it'll be fun.
It will be fun. So hopefully guys face each other, and yeah, big shout out to Juicy. He helps Self,
absolutely,
and pretty much every content creator I know within Cosmic Crucible because he's just that good. All right, and that is it. Good luck in Cosmic Crucible. I hope you do face Juicy. I hope you get that big unlock for Shadow King, and I hope the trials are fun and there's a big separation between the leaderboards. Any other final thoughts, brother?
Yeah, I'm excited for the Shadow King trials. I'm really hoping that it's actually hard and engaging. I'll be coming out with a guide as per usual for that. I'm sure you will as well. I know we both did that in the Logan trials. So like that's a big one for us. That's a fun video to make. I love doing that.
Fun stuff.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really hoping Cosmic Crucible stays fun. I'm hoping to stay competitive as well, and keep pushing up and see how high I can really get. Hopefully fight Juicy and beat him on the way up to the top, but I doubt that. But we can hope. But yeah, I'm hoping Battleworld really gets fun towards difficulty 5.
As we get more difficult.
Yeah, I hope if the difficulty 5 is not fun, that they end up releasing more difficulties. I hope that that's a possibility. That they could just move the slider and go, all right, cool. Now there's 10 difficulties. Good luck. So that's my hope, but I don't know. Well, that remains to be seen.
All right, well, this is the first iteration. Hopefully they take the feedback that we have from this and can make it future versions better and better and better, and it becomes like the game mode that everybody wants. But yeah, it is going to take a little work. So that is it. Make sure you guys go over to Dulam's channel, check him out, subscribe, check out a lot of his videos. Awesome content there. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button to follow the ValleyFlyin channel. Hit that notification bell as well so you know as soon as a new video goes up. Leave a comment. Let me know what kind of content you want to see. Have a great rest of your day. If you want to check out how to win an arena, check out that video up there. And you ready for a fist bump, Brother Dulam?
Always.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Hulk fist bump. Brother Dulam, ValleyFlyin. Have a great rest of your day, guys.